Hi there. Now, devotion today. I want to take you to Matthew's Gospel, chapter 9. I want to read verses from 35 onwards for our meditation. Jesus went through all the towns and villages, teaching in their synagogues, preaching the good news of the kingdom, and healing every disease and sickness. When he saw the crowds, he had compassion on them because they were harassed and helpless and like a sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, "The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Ask the Lord of the harvest to send out workers into his harvest field." So Jesus teaching his disciples, when he saw people around him are so harassed and helpless, and they are like sheep without a shepherd, Jesus recognized that they need help. They need to be brought into the kingdom. And so he told them that the harvest is plentiful. So Jesus saw the people who were harassed and helpless as the harvest. They need to be harvested and brought into the kingdom of God. How you can do it? Jesus said, "Ask the Lord of the harvest." Who is the Lord of the harvest? God the Father is the Lord of the harvest. He sent his Son for a purpose. That purpose is to die on the cross as a sacrifice for the sins. See, Jesus did not come into this world just to preach about the kingdom and healing some people with diseases and sicknesses. That is not the purpose he came. He came to die on the cross to do the will of the Father. And so he wanted to give that same compassion that he had for the people that he saw. He saw them, all of them are helpless and harassed, and they are abused. And Jesus wanted to bring them into the kingdom of God. So the first thing he asked his disciples to do is to pray. Ask the Lord of the harvest so that he can send out workers into his harvest field. So you and I are challenged by this passage to have compassion on people around us. There are times that we close our eyes when people go through a difficult situation and difficult times. We just, mind our own business, not involving anybody's business. That is what we think, but not Jesus. Jesus saw them and he had compassion on them. He wanted to help them. That is the same heart Jesus desired us to have. And then he challenged his disciples in the next chapter, chapter 10. First two verses talks about this. He says he called his disciples, 12 of them, and he gave them authority to drive out evil spirits and to heal every disease and sickness. So Jesus challenged his disciples to do exactly what he was doing. He said to them, "I want you to have the same, vision like I have. I have seen these people as people who are abused and harassed and they are helpless. We need to help them. We need to bring them into the kingdom." So Jesus wanted his disciples also to have the same compassion. And so what did he do? He gave them authority. Verse 1 says in chapter 10, he called his 12 disciples to give authority to drive out evil spirits and to heal every disease and sickness. Jesus wants us to have that same compassion that he had on the people. If you look around, you will be able to see that what Jesus saw. In the world that we live in today, where love is diminishing and violence is increasing, that is one of the sign of last days. And when the violence increase and the wickedness increase, the love of people will grow cold, Bible says. But we don't have to be like that of the world. We can be like Jesus. When he saw them, he had compassion on them. He had love for them. And he saw them as people who are being harassed and helpless and being abused. He want us, he want his disciples to pray. He want us to get that fire of love for people around us. You know, if you love people in the name of the Lord, and he really honors that. And we have to love like Jesus loved. We have to reach out to people and help people as much as possible. Direct them in the way of the Lord. Preach the kingdom of God. Preach and minister to people and pray and bring healing into the lives of people because he gave his disciples that authority. May God allow you as you reach out to him so that he will give you that fire, compassion, and love for people around you. God bless you today as you reach out to people in his name.